Hey guys, it's Ryan Butler with Keller Williams, and today we're going to talk about becoming a landlord, and that's whether it's on purpose or by accident. Awesome. So today let's talk about becoming a landlord and some of the steps that you're going to have to do and things you need to think about when you get into that situation. So when do people become landlords? Well, you could purchase a home strictly for investments and then, hey, you're a landlord, cool. Or you could buy a home and for some reason you have to leave. You got a new job, your family's gotten bigger, but you still want to keep the property that you bought. Now you are what a lot of people refer to as accidental landlords, but you are still a landlord. So there's some things you need to think about when you're in both of these situations. The first is you need to understand what your local laws are concerning being a landlord. In DC, in Maryland, and Virginia, a lot of times you need to get your license as a business owner in those areas before you can actually legally rent out your property. After getting your license and renting out your property legally, a lot of times those same entities, those local government entities, want to inspect your home to make sure that it's in a condition that's proper for someone to live in. So after you get your business license, you have to make sure you get the proper inspections. Okay. When it comes to finding an actual tenant for your property, there's a couple other things you need to think about as well. One is a background check. So you need to do a background check on their credit history and other types of things that you would be thinking about when making a decision on whether this person is going to be a good fit for you and your property. Making sure that they're employed, checking their references on their last landlords, and just making sure it's an overall good fit for you as well as the property. You're definitely going to need to have a proper lease. Making sure that you have a lease that you just don't download from the internet and both of you guys put your signatures on. That's just more of an amateur way to do that. And a lot of people do it and that's fine. However, you want to make sure you're protected. So to be protected, it makes a lot of sense to have your lease that you're going to be signing, that you're committing to another person, right? In this relationship, being a tenant, over the next year to someone that can actually review it and make suggestions like a lawyer. After you agreed upon a tenant and they've signed the lease and you've signed a lease, you want to make sure that part of the requirement is that your tenant gets renter's insurance. That's to cover any personal liabilities that can happen in case of a fire or a hailstorm or theft. You want to make sure that they're covered, and by not making them get renter's insurance, it puts them in a situation to where they might not be able to pay you later. So let's make sure we get renter's insurance for your tenants. The last thing is when you're actually doing this lease between yourself and the tenant, you want to make sure that they have a little bit of skin in the game. So having a deposit from the tenant is going to be an important thing. Now, depending on your jurisdiction, you're going to be limited in the type or the amount of deposit that you can have from tenants. Sometimes it's 1 month's rent. Sometimes it's 2 months rent. But just know your local laws in that case. So get your tenant's deposit that you hold along with the first month's rent in case anything happens, like they skip town or they tear up your house and are refusing to pay. You want to have some type of security. That way you're protected in that situation as well. So I hope these tips about being a landlord was a little bit helpful to you when you're looking at thinking to make your next purchase as an investment, or even if you're buying your move up or move down home and you're gonna keep your current existing home, just making sure you're doing things in the right order. Catch you on the next one.